and start.
This is going to be a very brief video for cutting your linoleum block down. And a few notes first about what kind of linoleum you're buying. At most art supply stores, you'll see this kind of much more rubbery material. They probably call it linoleum. It's not the linoleum that I would recommend buying. It carves a little bit easier, it's softer, but it won't hold as much detail. Also, because it's non-porous, it creates a few other problems. Instead, the kind of linoleum you want to buy is the kind with the burlap on the backside. So it can be gray like this, but it can also be beige. The color doesn't matter. I've only ever seen one of those two, the gray or the beige. But if it doesn't have the linoleum, then it's not the right stuff. So I'm sorry, the burlap, I meant to say. If it doesn't have the burlap, then it's not the right stuff. This is the stuff you want to buy. This is unmounted linoleum. This is mounted linoleum. So you see here, the material on the top is exactly the same, and it's been glued to this particle board at what's called type high. This stuff's great too. This works well. It's just that this will cost you a little bit less, and for what we're doing in class, this is going to be great. This is also much easier to cut. Obviously, if you're going to cut this, you need a table saw or some other kind of saw. And this you can just cut with a utility knife, which is what I'm going to show you in this video now. So let's say I want to cut this piece down. I'm going to demo with this one because I want to carve with that one later. But let's say I want to cut this down to about half. Let's say I want precisely 5 inches. So what I would do is I would measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Measure the 5 inches and mark. And notice that I have the burlap side facing up. So the bottom is facing up right now. So I mark those two. And I take a good cutting steel straight edge. And I place it on those marks. I'm going to want to hold down real firmly. And if I were to cut from the front, if this were turned right side up, I'd have to keep using the utility knife over and over and over again until I get all the way through. But if I cut from the back with the burlap up, I can cut through the burlap and a tiny little bit through linoleum, and then I can just snap it. And it'll snap and break precisely at the line where I cut through the burlap. And it can be really, if you're cutting the other way, it can be really hard because you're trying to press too hard. That's how people get hurt with the blade. It's also how this all slips, and so suddenly you're making a cut that's completely inaccurate too. So it's just much easier. I'm going to hold firmly with my left hand, but I'm not trying to apply a ton of pressure with the utility blade. Rather, I'm going to go over it a few times. You can tell by the sound when you've gotten through the burlap and when you've started cutting into the linoleum. You don't have to cut very far. You basically just have to go through the linoleum. So now we still have this block. It's one piece. I've only cut through, barely through the linoleum, but watch this, and it snaps perfectly right at that edge. So the easy way to cut this is from the back, cut through the burlap, then just snap it, and we get this nice sharp edge. Okay? I would not recommend cutting from the front unless you absolutely have to, because if you do that, you're going to have to repeatedly go over it many, many times until you get all the way through the burlap underneath. Okay? If you have to, if there's some reason that the information you need about where to cut is on the face, one thing you can do is mark the edges on the face, then mark the sides, and then, so if you have a mark on the side, then you could use that mark on the side to cut the back, if that makes sense. Stop video.